Hello and welcome into this week's Wheeling Feeling presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration and Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack. Well, we are officially in September, and I think it's fair to say that summer went out with a bang in the friendly city. But just because summer is technically over does not mean the events are slowing down. In fact, it is a huge weekend at the Capitol Theater, what they're actually calling a grand reopening with two really big shows coming to town. We'll have much more on both those shows and everything they're doing at the Capitol Theater coming up in 30 seconds.
West Virginia's largest restoration company is now in the heart of the Mountain State. With a location in Charleston, joining our branches in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, we'll be there to help when you need it most. Our expert team and state-of-the-art equipment is ready to serve the Kanawha Valley 24 hours a day. From water damage to fire restoration, when disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Mountaineers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
As I mentioned before, it's a huge weekend at the Capitol Theater. I'm joined by Kelly Tucker. Kelly, tell me a little bit about just what you guys are kind of calling like the grand reopening of the Capitol Theater this weekend.
Yes, we're very excited. So we have been dark at the theater since June, July, August. And as we installed a brand new fly system and repaired and painted plaster and installed some handrails in the balcony. So some great upgrades that were made to the theater. And then we're reopening Friday with Joe Gatto at the theater, and then Gabby Barrett on Sunday. So we're kicking it back off with two great shows.
Well, I know that this is something that, now technically the former council really put an emphasis on was getting in some big name acts to places like the Capitol Theater, West Banco Arena. That's something you guys have really been able to accomplish here over the last few years. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of the growth you've seen, especially with folks wanting to come to Wheeling and do shows here?
Yeah, absolutely. My main goal when I came in was to, from my days at the theater, 30 years ago, was to bring that live entertainment back to Wheeling so that people can experience what a wonderful place Wheeling is. So it's been a huge goal of mine. And now the goal of the whole team here is to work really hard to make sure that Wheeling is back on the map for entertainers. As you know, we're at a perfect location as tours are passing through Columbus into Pittsburgh, the East Coast, to make a stop here. So the focus has been to really put Wheeling back on the map, and we're accomplishing that. And you can see that with some of the great shows that we're getting.
Well, I was going to say you got Joe Gatto on Friday. Gabby Barrett's coming in after him. But this is just kind of starting quite a pretty impressive schedule of events. Can you talk about some of the big names that might be coming in over the next few months as well?
Yes, absolutely. We have a full packed fall into Christmas time. Right now, we have 34 shows on sale for just the Capitol Theater, and that's not counting any of the events that are happening at the West Banco Arena as well. It's the busiest the theater has been in the past, 20 years or more. So it's very exciting. We just announced Brett Michaels, who's coming first time in Wheeling at the Capitol Theater the night before Thanksgiving, which is a huge night in Wheeling. At the same time, the Nailers will be playing at West Banco Arena. We also have Godsmack coming to the arena in October. We have so many things. Office Trivia with David Koechner coming. The Beach Boys, which is sold out in September. So just a variety of different things. The Price is Right, Crowder. I mean, there are so many shows. If you go to our website, you can see all of the great entertainment coming to Wheeling.
I was going to say, I know my boyfriend is very excited. My fiance, excuse me. I keep screwing that up. My fiance is very excited about Godsmack. I might let him go to that one by himself. But yeah, there's some really big names coming. But how about let's focus on this weekend. Joe Gatto, Gabby Barrett. Tell me a little bit about their shows and what you guys are kind of expecting out of that.
Yeah, so on Friday, Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers, which is how most people know him, stand-up comedy act. And, he was here a few years ago, back in Wheeling, loves to come to Wheeling. So that's going to be a great show on Friday night. There are still tickets available. And then Sunday, Gabby Barrett, who has never played in Wheeling, and, back when I was doing Jamboree in the Hills, was a star there on Sunday during the event. And kind of a regional local talent. And she's bringing Maddox Baxton with her, who a lot of the young girls know is kind of an up and coming country artist. So it'll be nice to have that show on Sunday. And then even into next week, we have the Taylor Nation show, which is doing very well. And that's on the 11th. So a big week to kick it off.
Well, I was going to say, I actually, my news director, Dawn Sloan, was able to find a screen grab of Gabby Barrett from Jamboree in the Hills. I want to say it was 2014 or 2015 that she was there. So it is kind of wild to see, 9 years later, her coming back and just being able to headline an entire show here in Wheeling.
Yes, it's very exciting. We're thrilled to have her here.
And finally, Kelly, can you just kind of talk about what the Capitol Theater means to the city of Wheeling? I know when you look at the city of Wheeling, it may not have the size of a place like a Pittsburgh or a Columbus, but a place like the Capitol Theater kind of provides amenities that you may not see in cities the same size as Wheeling across the country.
Absolutely. It really is a historic treasure for everyone, in the community. And I think it's amazing if you kind of look back at the history of it, how many entertainers have been on that stage, and how many more hopefully will be coming. And it is in a town our size to have something so historical, is really, it's amazing. I have a deep love for the theater. I kind of grew up in the theater, there. And, my goal is really just to make sure that people not only locally remember it, but those who used to come and travel to Wheeling. There's still so many wonderful things to do here. And we just want to be that big entertainment piece of it that help bring tourists into Wheeling area.
And then, Kelly, finally, if somebody is still looking to get a ticket, whether it's for this weekend or for any shows coming up here in the next few months, what do they need to do?
They can absolutely go online to our website, or they can come to West Banco Arena. We operate the box office Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they can also, stop by the theater on their way into the show and pick up a ticket. So we hope to see everyone there on our big reopening weekend this weekend.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wheeling Island has your share of $100,000 as part of our summer living giveaways. So join us Saturdays in June, where each week we'll draw 10 lucky winners every hour from 7 to 10 p.m. Play for your chance to win free play or gift cards up to $2,500 each. Pick the progressive and you'll win cash starting at $2,000 or more. Players receive one entry for every 50 base points earned. Plus, you'll earn double entries when you play on Mondays and Tuesdays. Only at Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack.
So obviously plenty to do at the Capitol Theater this weekend and for the next couple of months coming up. But if you're looking for something different, there is actually a lot happening around the Friendly City this weekend. Now, from Thursday through Tuesday, the USS LST Ship Memorial will be parked at Heritage Port. It's a museum meant to educate visitors on the role of the LST in World War II, Vietnam, and Korea. Now, it will be open to check out from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, that's Thursday through Tuesday. And on Saturday, it's Paws at the Park at Ogilby. You can bring your furry friend for a day full of fun activities that includes things like a hike, swimming in the pool, and even getting to meet some of their favorite characters from Paw Patrol, if that's what your furry friend is into. Admission is $10 per dog, and proceeds will benefit the Good Zoo animals. The events get started at 9 a.m. And as Kelly mentioned, Joe Gatto will be at the Capitol Theater on Friday, and Gabby Barrett will be holding a concert on Sunday. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Wheeling Feeling. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week.